Hello and good afternoon or good evening, wherever you may from. Hopefully you guys are all having a great day. Today's subject is going to be about interest rates, how you should pay for your next cruise. I do it a certain method. Some of you may use the same method or maybe not. Hopefully you find the information useful. All right, so the actual topic that we're talking about today is how to finance your next cruise at 0%. There are ways to finance it without having to pay any interest. Now, if you choose to pay by credit card, which is the most convenient way, you will pay some interest. Unless you get a fabulous credit card that gives you 0% interest for I don't know how long it takes you to pay it off. If you do find one of those cards, fantastic. Use that to finance your cruise. However, based on my experience, I'll be talking about other ways to use it instead of using credit cards that do have an interest rate, okay? Well, with today's inflation, you know how interest rates are crazy, right? They're way up there. So we find alternatives. Now, we've been doing this for a while, so it's not just because things have gotten crazy with the interest rates, but I think it's probably common sense, and maybe you already know this, but there's other methods of paying your cruise besides credit cards, and I'm gonna show you what that is and tell you about it, okay? When we usually plan a cruise, we try to plan it at least a year in advance, at least or more. I try not to do it too much in advance, like over a year and a half to 2 years. I tend to see a lot of cruises being canceled or rescheduled, so I don't want to go through that. So I kind of just do it within the 1 year that we kind of go with on an average. We've been doing that for a long time, and it seems to work out for us, and it makes it more affordable. Now, this is what you should plan out, okay? Now, I don't have any exact figures because, you know, different cruise lines will charge you different deposits. They'll charge you different ways to pay for your cruise, as far as different rates, I should say. So, you know, this is all based on different dollar figures, but I'm gonna give you the basics and you guys do your own calculation, okay? So let's go on a 13-month plan, okay? So let's say the first month you get a cruise and you put a deposit down. Again, that might vary depending on what cruise line you go on. Some of them have $50 deposits, some of them have 50% off deposit, or, you know, 50% down, I should say, deposit. Or you might have some cruises that you have to pay whatever half of the cruise is, so, or more. It varies, so just, you know, your cruise line will let you know what it is, okay? So back to the topic at hand. So what you do is you pay a deposit, and you should pay that by having money saved. If you're gonna go on a cruise or a vacation, obviously you have money saved, right? So the way me and my family do it is we have money that's saved. What we do is we take it out of savings, deposit it into our checking account, and then we use our debit card to make the deposit. And then what we do is, to pay the rest of the cruise lines, this is what we do. Every time we're gonna make a payment, we pay out of our savings to the debit card and make, obviously, a transaction with a debit card, you know, instead of using a credit card. The checking account is the best way to do it, because if you have savings, then you just transfer money from savings into your checking account, then you use the debit card to make that transaction over the phone or online, whichever you choose. Now, there's another 2 ways you can do this. Now, you can pay it, once you pay your deposit, you can pay it directly to the cruise line by making monthly payments. They don't charge you a fee, they don't charge you interest from doing this. They just want to make sure that you pay your cruise off by a certain date. Now, dates may vary, so usually the average is about 60 to 70 days prior to the cruise date of sailing. So this is where you're gonna have time. If you plan to pay it this way, where you could pay it monthly, and you're gonna pay with your debit card from your savings, what you do is, you make your deposit, they're gonna tell you what the remaining amount is, they're gonna tell you when the due date is to pay your final payment, and then the months in between are going to be your finance days, okay? With 0 interest, because you're paying from your savings with a debit card. Now, you can make your payments directly through the cruise line if you set it up online. I know Carnival has a great system where you can pay the deposit online, and then you make payments. You log on, you make a $20 payment. There's no specific amount. All what really matters is that you pay the full amount by the due date that they have given you, which is 60 to 70 days prior to that sale date. So that's your finance days right there. You get to make payments as many as you want. So you can make a payment every week. You can make it once a month, every day if you want, okay? But there's no restrictions. Like I said, as long as you pay the entire balance that's due by the date that was given to you, that is due by. You should have no problems, okay? You're saving money. You don't have to use a credit card. Things are crazy nowadays. Why would you use a credit card? Now, I know this may not be simple for some people. Some people may not have that much savings, and you have to put some in credit card and so on, and that's okay. It's understandable. But if you do have a chance of doing it this way, I would highly recommend that. You're going to save a lot of money. Money you could be potentially saving on a cruise, spending more on a cruise, or even planning for your next cruise instead of paying those interest charges, okay? Now, let's say you didn't book your cruise directly with the cruise line, okay, and you did it through a travel agent. The same thing was with the travel agent, okay? I've used the cruise line, through my travel agent, where I've called her and I've made payments right over the phone. Hey, I want to make a $100 payment. Here's my card, my debit card, okay? And then she processes it. I get the notification on my app. Hey, you made a $100 payment towards my cruise. You can do it that way, or you can do it directly with the cruise line. However, I want to point out that if you did the booking through the cruise line and you're making the payments through the cruise line, you have to continue doing it through the cruise line until that balance is paid off. If you booked through a travel agent, then you have to continue making those payments through your travel agent. Either way, you use a debit card from savings. Transfer money from savings into your main checking, make that payment, and save some money. That's how you get 0% interest rate. Now, the time varies. So the more time you can give yourself, then you can put your own budget plan. Like, let's say you want to budget $100 a month. Well, then whatever the remaining balance is, and you want it to be $100 a month, then do the calculations and you know how much time you need. If you need more than a year, go for it. If you want to book a year and a half in advance to be in a comfortable budget plan that you want to do every single month, hey, that's great, fantastic. The better you plan, the better the outcome will be. So basically, that's what we do. It's worked out for us. So if you want to try it out. That's basically what I do every single time I go on a cruise. I've been on several cruises. For those who know me, they must, a lot of them say, oh, Will, wow, you're always going on these cruises. You must be rich. You must make a lot of money. Not necessarily, because it doesn't matter how much money you make, it's how you manage your money. And I always, well, not me. Let me be careful how I say that. My wife manages the money very well. She's amazing. She should be working for Wall Street. But she manages our money very, very well. She budgets everything very good so we can have a very good cruise and go on the cruise that we want to go on with the right plan and make sure that we don't pay money to interest rates. Makes things a lot more affordable. So I hope this was useful to you and you're able to implement that on your next cruise. Great. All right, that's it for this week. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend. You take care and be safe.